Hey. Hey.
I'm dancing like I ain't got a care in the world, child.
Because you know what? We gonna throw them cares away. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, right.
Right now.
Yes, Carrie.
Just throw them away. Hey, we
Throw them away. Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Yes.
Yay. I know we're on a new day and a new time today, but this is what worked with our schedules this week. So we appreciate y'all rocking with us. Welcome to another episode of The Sip. We are super excited about our guest today, y'all.
Hey.
I am so hyped. So hyped. How's everybody doing today? Midweek. It's not Friday. We're super excited because it's Friday. It's not Friday today.
We ain't seeing a Friday on the Sip in a month of Sundays, child, but we working on it.
We work right. First. I know. I'm feeling pretty good today, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bless the gods. You know?
Yeah. That's good.
Life is good.
I thought you had an announcement or something. I was gonna be like, "Yeah, what happened, girl?"
No, I'm just feeling blessed and highly favored in the Lord. You know,
I'm feeling pretty good today too. Oh, go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry.
No, girl, you got it.
No, I feel like I've had no sleep. Life is crazy, but I'm here with my girls. This is the happiest part of my week every week, so I'm good.
Yes. We love you, sis.
We love you, girl. Same. I'm feeling good. I have a jazz show tonight with the fabulous Miss Dawn Clement.
Yes.
So prepping for that, and just feeling really grateful for a lot of opportunities that have been coming up. I have some dope announcements. We have some dope announcements as the Sip coming up. I can't tell y'all yet, but
the brand is strong, baby.
Okay. The brand is strong. So we're going to be doing something really cool in October. We can't wait to tell y'all about that. And so, let's get into the show. What we sipping on?
Sis, okay, I need to show you my favorite mug.
Oh, that's my favorite mug too. Every time I come to your house, I'm like, where's the mini mug?
This is my favorite mug. It says mornings aren't pretty, but I would say afternoons ain't either, child, which is why I'm having my second cup of coffee today. That's what I'm sipping on.
And you still look good, sis. You know what
I'm right with you. I'm right with you, Raj.
Got some tea?
I got some coffee today.
Coffee. My bad.
Today, the tea was not going to be strong enough.
Yes.
Actually, it's cold brew, but like
cold brew.
And when you do cold brewed hot, it's like frothy.
Ooh, that sounds
okay. Let's do with the pro tips.
Just a little tip until I get my espresso machine that Carrie knows all about.
Tips, I already put my orders in, baby.
Everybody over for a latte, okay?
Let's go.
Ryan just shared with me this Origins of Coffee video YouTube series, and it's hilarious. I'm gonna send it to y'all. It's hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah.
I got some peanut butter whiskey straight.
Come on, whiskey.
Sheen.
That sounds like it would go good in my coffee. I'm just saying, you know.
You want some? I can run upstairs.
It'd be a whole different show, sis.
Right?
Oh my God. That's hilarious. Well, welcome to everybody that's watching. Let us know what you're sipping on in the comments. And also, please make sure you hit that share button. If you're watching right now from Facebook, which you are, hit that share button and it will go to your timeline so you can share with all your friends and family that we are live right now. And if you're listening to us on your podcast app of choice, thank y'all. Like, y'all are really out here rocking with us, and we appreciate the love and support more than words can say. So we're going to go ahead and get started.
Yes. What's up, Dabrina? Hi, boo. Hi. First
Leah James.
Leah. Your latest profile pic was cute, sis. Good to see you. So that's my girl.
Awesome. So we're going to start with, I know we have a BIP that we want to celebrate today. So I'm just going to take that away for us.
Listen, y'all, and we just, we are losing so many of our brightest and best stars and people in our community right now that I just wanted to highlight this brother real quick. I'm going to try to read this quickly, but I didn't want to let the day or let too much time pass without like fully giving him his due. So we wanted to take this moment out to give a tribute to our brother in power, Michael K. Williams. He was an incredible actor and human being. He was born and raised in the Vanderveer projects in East Flatbush, Brooklyn. While he was best recognized as Omar Little from The Wire, and also as Chalky White on Boardwalk Empire, and as Montrose Friedman in Lovecraft Country, he was also an incredible, well-rounded actor and entertainer who gave powerful performances playing in the film Bessie Smith. He was also in Gone Baby Gone, 12 Years a Slave, When We Rise, When They See Us, and he acted alongside Tupac Shakur in the film Bullet. Having been nominated for 5 Emmys, what many don't know is that he also was an incredible dancer. After seeing Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation in 1814, he left school and quit his job to pursue a career as a dancer. He appeared in music videos with George Michael and Madonna, and he also choreographed Crystal Waters' 100% Pure Love. Williams also served as the American Civil Liberties Union Celebrity Ambassador to the Campaign for Smart Justice. According to a DNA analysis, he is descended partly from the Mende people of Sierra Leone. He also founded the Making Kids Win Foundation, which is an organization created to serve the youth of Brooklyn, New York by implementing 2 programs. One is Future to reduce gun violence. And number 2 was the City Arts Partnership to engage youth in the arts and excel in schools. To support this brother and his efforts, please visit and consider making a donation to makingkidswin.com. We're going to share that. And I just wanted to give a tribute to him because he's more than the way he passed. His entire life was powerful. His entire life was a tribute. His entire life was focused on exemplifying the best of us, our rage, our triumphs, our pain, our beauty, our everything. And my only desire was that this man knew how much he was loved before he left this earth. So that's all I have to say. But if you can, light a candle, pour something out, leave something, up to the universe for this incredible soul. And may he always be celebrated and remembered.
Thank you, Rod.
Thank you so much, Rod. Yes, man.
I don't have any words.
I don't.
You said them all.
Also, check on your friends, y'all.
Check on your friends.
That's
your strong ones.
That's
it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the ones that look like they're doing good and everything.
Right.
They got it together. Like, man, Michael K. Williams, like every time important to my soul. So, thank you for that, Raj. I wanted to also share. So a few of our bips and sips this week are now ancestors. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about Kenyatta Jackson one more time. I know that I spoke a little bit about her in our last episode, but Kenyatta Jackson, who is a yogi, a mother, a wife, and a community servant, passed away suddenly last week. A warrior, now becoming an ancestor. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to honor her spirit one more time and remind those that have been touched by her spirit, by her love, by her words, by her work, that they can celebrate her homegoing on Sunday the 12th. I'm going to pop that link into the chat. And if you have an opportunity to give to support her 4 children and her husband, please do that as well. They're still trying to raise funds to support the family here. So just wanted to highlight my sister in power, Kenyatta Jackson, who will be deeply, deeply missed, especially out here in this community. So, yeah.
Thank you, sis. I really wish I had gotten a chance to get to know her. I really do.
She is. We carry on her light. We carry on her light, man. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you both for sharing such beautiful bips and sips this week. It is unfortunate that they are now ancestors, but the way in which we can celebrate their lives and honor them is also a really beautiful thing. So Carrie did share in the chat. So feel free to click on that and be a part, and then feel free to click on the link as well to support the organization. All right, y'all. It's so hard to like go from that and then like talk mess about the BANs, but
it must be done.
It must be done. The work must continue.
Okay. Listen, on my grave, I wanted to say
it's the comic relief.
Queen Slayer of BAN.
Girl, yes. Thanks. Get them.
Anytime I could read anybody.
The way that I'm trying to learn to read the way y'all be reading these motherfuckers. Okay. Because can y'all teach a class or something?
Listen,
can we do like a SIP presents? You know what I'm saying?
Well, we used to call it riding you out back in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And it was an art to it. Like the people that could ride you out the best, they would make you cry. Like they could make you cry, like just pulling everything out. You either had to learn how to ride people out back or you was just going to be crying.
Right.
So
that's fair.
I had to learn, honey.
Because he was like, listen, you're not about to catch these tears.
You're not about to catch these tears.
No. So. I feel that shit.
Who do we have, Raj?
Ship Read University. Maybe that could be like some outtake episodes or something. We gonna
yeah.
Ooh, that could be for our Patreon. Charlie said how to read a BA in 101.
Yes, Charlie.
It's a course now available from the Ship University.
Okay. For a smooth $9.99. And I don't mean $9.99.
Girl, get them.
Right.
That part.
We will have a syllabus. Okay.
Don't get us started, Lord Jesus. Don't get us started.
Okay, Raj, who you got? Because
I'm gonna make this real quick, and I'm not even gonna get into too much of it. But I have two BANs of this week. And first is the comedian Monique. Y'all know she stayed problematic, and now she done lost me for real. And also the singer Tank. So both of them have put out posts recently, really vague posts. Monique put out this post talking about listing all these drugs that are not what is it called? Approved by the FDA. All these drugs that are not approved by the FDA, as to say, watch what you're putting in your bodies. But it was a real vague post. And I was like, I literally went on her comments and was like, sis, are you saying that this translates to people should not be doing vaccines or nah? And she actually came for me, and y'all have to go on the post to see it because I also came for her. I had a little response back to her, but also Tank posted recently. He's been commenting on pages like DL Hughley. Nick had pointed out that DL Hughley had posted about more cases and more deaths being in Florida. And Tank made a comment like, "Oh, I hope the check is good, brother." And he's also been making comments about how he doesn't trust vaccines and doesn't trust mainstream media and all this. This is the problem that I have with both of these entertainers. One, you're not specifically saying whether you're for or against vaccines, which I think if you have a platform like that, you should, or just shut up completely. But since you brought it up, then I'm going to call you on it and ask you what you really mean. Two, if you're not for vaccines or if you're hesitant about vaccines, the problem with that is that both Monique and Tank are celebrities, okay? These people who are hesitant and who give their opinion about whether people should get them or not, they have the luxury of top-notch healthcare. They have doctors who can assist them easily at the drop of the hat if they get COVID. They can isolate themselves without traveling. They're not considered essential workers, but many of the folks who listen to them don't have those same luxuries. These are the people who are essential workers, who have to risk their lives every day and who even show up to their concerts and events maskless. These are the people who are ultimately harmed by rhetoric like this, not the celebrities themselves. So I have a real problem with celebrities who will sit back in your comfortable, nice home where you don't have to work a day job every day. You probably have residual checks. You can decide whether you want to do concerts or not over the next few years, few months, whatever. There are people who literally are risking their lives every day just to serve your coffee in the morning, just to pump your gas, just to make sure that you get the food that you need. You know what I mean? But you're sitting here making these people doubt the safety and efficacy of these vaccines while you are pampered and luxurious. And I'm just not here for it. So I think it's really irresponsible of these celebrities, and I think they need to know better and do better. And I'm done.
Drop the mic.
Listen, Linda, don't get Raj riled up.
Don't
do it. Come on, I feel you.
And Monique's response back to you was, I was like, man.
Trash.
Her multiple responses back to you. Not her one response.
Trayish.
I hope she didn't delete it, y'all. Go on Monique's Instagram page. She deleted it?
Yeah.
Like the whole post or her comments?
I can't find it.
What?
I was on the other day looking for it to show Aaron, and I could not find it.
That's wild.
I was like, yo, I really think that she deleted it.
But guess who has screenshots though?
Hey, receipts.com.
Just to give y'all a little clarification. So what
Sabrina, you know she got them. Sorry.
Listen.
Sabrina was like, no screenshots.
Sis.
She got them.
See, you know me, sis. But anyway, what she was basically saying and that I had a problem with was when she put out the FDA post, a lot of people were already assuming she was saying that she wasn't for the vaccine. So what I said was, can you please clarify? Are you saying that you're not for vaccines? By making these posts, is that what you mean? And she responded, sis, don't read into it. You can decide whatever you want to decide. You can make whatever assumption you want to make. And my response was, as a person who has a platform, I think you need to be more responsible with your words. What exactly are you saying? I don't want to make assumptions. I'd like for you to explain it. And she refused to explain her position. And I have a problem with that, because if you're going to put some kind of gaslighting post out like that, especially in this charged time when it comes to COVID and vaccines and stuff, then you have the responsibility to explain yourself and be clear. Because if people are assuming that you're for vaccines or not, and you're not, then you need to say that. Otherwise, you're just gaslighting people, and you need to have several seats.
Period.
That's it.
Period.
I'm dead.
I just need Monique to sit down. Period.
And shut up.
Just stop it. No, I don't. Stop.
Right.
Like, can we block her from Instagram? Can Instagram be like, can they turn her page off or some shit? Like, I don't know, because she just be putting out random problematic shit all the time. And I just be like, who asked you?
But also, it's the I love us for real. No, you don't. Because
right. Like I say, peace and love. Get the fuck out of here.
The heart emojis for me and the wink emojis and, my babies, my sweet babies. I love you. Like, ma'am, shut up.
Right.
Lies.
And also, I'm just kind of sick of this rebuttal of like, well, how many people died from cancer in Florida and how many people, y'all, just from a Facebook perspective, I have 5,000 friends on my Facebook page. I have been on Facebook for years. The amount of time I've been married for almost 14 years, I've been on Facebook.
Right.
I have never at any point on being on Facebook this entire time seen so much death in my timeline.
Seriously.
Never. You see the occasional person had a heart attack. You see the occasional person had cancer and passed, but you knew that person was battling cancer for a while. You saw some, maybe somebody passed away from a gunshot wound or, you would see stuff every single day. I am seeing people on ventilators, people I went to high schools with and grew up in churches with, parents are dying at 60, 65 over COVID. So my BAN is also a rant along the virus and with people who are just dumb. My God.
Yeah.
Yours was great, Raj. I'm going to piggyback off of that. My BAN for the week are the people out here taking ivermectin.
Sis.
If those of you who are watching and listening, if you don't know what ivermectin is, I will tell you, okay? Ivermectin is a horse medication for deworming. Okay, now here's the thing. Ivermectin was developed in the 1970s for animal and human consumption to treat parasites, such as intestinal worms and or lice, not COVID. But y'all are not calling your primary healthcare physicians, asking them for ivermectin for COVID, because that sounds dumb, right? Because it's not a drug for COVID. No, y'all are going to the local feed shops around the corner and you're buying up all of I can't even get it out. Y'all are buying up all of the horse medication that clearly reads on the label as ivermectin liquid for horses in a dose that is for a horse. I would like you guys to know that the average horse weight is between 1,000 and 2,000 pounds. And y'all are out here taking medications in doses that are not for you. But then the same ones taking something for a horse from a local feed store feels like the government is trying to kill us with the vaccination. The gag is, you saw your cousin Jed post it to Facebook, okay? You thought it worked because he told you it worked. You went to the local feed store, you bought it, and guess what? You're dead. And you're not dead from the virus. You're dead because you took a medication.
It ain't funny, but it's funny.
That had nothing to do with parasites in your body. This is what doctors prescribe to little kids who have lice in a very small dose. These people died because they thought that it would cure their COVID or that it would prevent it altogether. And this pandemic is really showing the ignorance in people. And it is showing that common sense is not actually common at all. And I'm done.
What the fuck is going on?
I'm over it. I'm done. At this point, post the replay.
Right.
If you are taking a horse medication from your local feed store and you die, you deserved it.
Listen.
It says for horses.
Here's the thing. I want to be the 911 operator or the nurse at the hotel reception. I mean, at the hospital reception when they come in and they call 911. 911, name and location of your emergency. Yes, I took ivermectin and I can't breathe and I'd be like, oh, is this what we doing today, sir? Is this what we doing? People out here dying from COVID and you done took some ivermectin, girl. Listen, I would
from the store, girl.
Day.
From the
store.
Like Rod said, I feel bad for the horses.
They ain't got no medication now.
What about the horses?
What about the horses?
I thought all lives mattered.
See the horses, Jesus. Let us
somebody get us together.
Get us together. Like it's in Canada, it's gone. Like there's no ivermectin at all.
My
in
God.
Any of the stores. You can't find it. And in the South, in Arkansas, where COVID is like ridiculous right now, it's sold out.
How many people? I need to know how many people passed from ivermectin. And listen, y'all just need to know, Lisa Young in the comments is giving me life.
Yes.
Take it. Let the men in Texas take it.
Yes. How about that?
Girl.
Charlie said mane and tail medicine. I'm dead.
Mane and tail medicine.
Yes. You know that. All y'all going to the corner.
But once about vaccine gonna kill you and good. I'm gonna take this medication for horses.
I'm gonna take this ivermectin,
and it's gonna prevent me from getting that COVID.
Oh shit!
Y'all know it's Jed and them. Okay,
it's Jed. It's 100%
Jed. Today I'm trying Jesus, but y'all know it's Jed and them.
100%.
Okay,
that's all I'm going to say.
Lisa said, "Where's Mr. Ed when you need him?" You know what? I can't take y'all. I really can't. This is just too hilarious.
I've been waiting to read these. I didn't have time last week, but I said they're getting read on today. I'm over it.
Yes.
Okay,
listen,
I'm done. I feel better.
Black folks,
people
of color, all of you other sensible folks of America, please just hold your wits about you. My God. This is an insane time. It's absolutely ridiculous. I just, it's all well and good until you have to go to the doctor and explain. Like these people don't think 2 and 3 steps ahead. It's just like you literally are just acting. The only silver lining to the cloud is a lot of the people who are refusing to see reason, unfortunately, and who are doing these, you're going to learn the hard way. And I hope you're still here next year. That's all I can say.
That.
I hope you survive this mindset that you're in. Because these people don't.
Can I add a caveat today?
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to say, if you survive, please learn how to read and educate yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you are going to continue with us into the future, I'm asking you, please, for the love of God,
for crying out loud,
yourself. Okay,
read a book.
Read a book. Like, that's it. I just wanted to add that caveat because you know the future is scary right now.
Lisa said, or don't. Or nah, Lisa.
Or yeah, right. Or just no.
Or don't. I mean, y'all want, if we thin in the herd, then okay.
Listen.
Okay.
Herd immunity and whatnot. Can we get herd immunity from nonsense?
From not.
From smoking too much hay.
From the hillbilly.
I love y'all. These comments are giving me
life.
Yes.
Anyway, let us move on because we do have some beautiful, incredible women to talk to. We have some powerful, educated sisters to talk to. And I'm just excited about it. So I'm just going to dig right into these bios without further ado, right? Have I missed anything else, Nick? I think we're good. Okay. I am so excited about these three ladies. The minute that I saw one, I've been following a lot of the work that they've done individually, especially Adrienne and Lisa. But the minute that I saw them post about this project, I literally emailed them and said, would you please come on the SIP? Because I just think that the work that they do is amazing. So I'm going to start with individual bios and then we'll talk about their amazing project. First, Alicia Lisa Young is a playwright. She's the founder of Ideas and an actor, singer, director, teacher, stroke survivor, and activist. In addition to working with theaters all across the Front Range, Lisa is a board member of the Colorado Theater Guild, where she heads the diversity committee. With deep roots in activism, Lisa worked on voters' rights in the South and was the president of the Disabled Student Union while a pre-medicine student at Southern University. She's a drama teacher for Aurora Public Schools. She is Mike Bear's wife and godmother to Darren, DK, Darius, and Tiana, Keaton, Price, and Ari Noir. Find out more about Ideas at ideastages.org. Norma Johnson is a co-creator. She's a spiritual healer, speaker, writer, poet, playwright, performance artist, consultant, and facilitator that brings a creative background into her distinctive presentation form of social justice, education, and activism. Norma presents and facilitates for a dynamic range of organizations, institutions, faith communities, civic groups, and in educational forums such as universities and the highly regarded annual White Privilege Conference. Her deeply moving poems are featured in racial justice courses taught by educators across the country. Norma's work opens space for inquiry, reflection, and dialogue, and her storytelling inspires awareness and insight and the power we have to bring paths of healing to our future. And last but certainly not least, Adrienne Martin-Fullwood is a co-creator. She's a mother, a grandmother, actor, and producer at 52 Artists Co-op. She was last seen at 5280 Artists Co-op Colorism. She was at the Aurora Fox Theater and Who Will Sing for Lena, at the Arvada Center and The Great Gatsby, A Raisin in the Sun as Ruth, Intimate Apparel as Esther. She's also done the venue Hairspray at the Aurora Fox Space Theater. She's done Tell Martha Not to Moan. She was nominated Best Actress in a Drama. She's done the 72nd Avenue Theater, The Container, Curious Theater, playing Rose from Fences. She was in the Shadow Theater's production of Flying West as Sophie, and also in Four Queens, No Trump as Esther. She's also had a long list of other community theater productions, not to exclude a long list of many TV commercials and corporate, industrial, and voiceover commercials. And we also were in the show Crowns together at Vintage. Without further ado, I present to you Lisa Young, Norma Johnson, Adrienne Martin-Fullwood, the ladies and creators of the Sojourners Project. Hey. Welcome.
All right. Hey. Hi, ladies. Oh my God, you all are funny. I'm back there just cracking up. I couldn't type fast enough. It was
TV show. I will watch it. I will record it. I will binge it.
Yeah.
Y'all giving me my life back.
Thank you.
I'm over here just like, yes, preach. Yes.
Right.
So,
I'm just cracking up, and so many good points. I was like, yes. And you know, it's a church. Amen. Hallelujah. That's right. Praise. Preach it now.
Thank you all so much. We are so honored and excited to have you guys here. And before we dig into the Sojourners project, which I want to read the story about that, our lovely Carrie Joy has a question of the day.
Yes. Hey, okay. Hi, ladies.
Hi, Miss Carrie Joy.
I'm gonna keep. Yeah, I love y'all. I love y'all so much. I'm gonna keep it really cute today.
I don't know that, but yeah, okay. Keep talking.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta call my husband first, but we'll talk.
I got you. I love you, Mike. It's all love. You know what I'm saying? It's all love.
I like the tea she's sipping. That's what I want. Forget y'all's coffee.
Cute. So I'm gonna keep it really cute today. I just wanted to have this, cute conversation. If you could go on a date with any two celebrities, and you could define a celebrity however you would like. I mean, I already know yours, Mo. We know. I see. That's why I said two. I want to know who the second one is, right? Two celebrities that you can go on a date with. Who would they be?
Wait, I have a question. Are they on this panel? Can I? I mean,
I'm sure. Like whomever.
Can it be three? Because if I was going on a date, I'm picking Monique with her violin, Ron Delari with her voice, Carrie Joy with her pen and paper to knock out some poetry. That's my celebrities. I want to be with some real celebrities, and we're gonna have a great conversation. We're gonna eat some good food. Raj gonna bring me some vegan stuff that I'm gonna be like, oh, my body's better. So these three right here. I'm in love right here. This is my.
We on a date, right? Okay.
Yep, let's do it.
Love you, Lisa.
Okay, I'm sorry. Y'all go ahead.
Who next?
Okay, and Idris.
Okay, Idris Elba. I heard that.
All right, Danny Glover.
Danny Glover.
And Queen Latifah.
And Queen Latifah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
What about you, Adrian?
Woo, I got a bunch of them. Denzel Washington.
Hey.
For knowledge.
Strictly
for knowledge.
For knowledge.
That's a lot.
I want to know how he got to where he is now. That's strictly my dates.
That's gonna start off for knowledge, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. And oh man, it was gonna be Cicely Tyson, or could have been. Just to pick her brain too. How did she make it? What a nostalgic woman. And whoo, yeah, there's so much history, so much. So I'm going strictly for knowledge and history.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Right? Y'all so
real nice.
Y'all so deep.
Y'all so deep.
That's deal. That's deal.
I got some other ones now.
Look, I was gonna say, you said
I want to know who's not for knowledge. And I
them too, like
who y'all going on dates with? Who y'all going on dates with?
So can you define this date? Can you put this date in the box? Because there are knowledge dates, but then there's them booty call dates and just
hey, boo.
Whatever.
Hey,
some of them dates you just like hi.
Yeah, that's where I'm headed.
You didn't do your two,
Lisa?
So
I got the young bull.
Oh, okay.
And I got the old head.
Okay.
So Kofi Siriboe.
Okay, Kofi.
Because
the organ, Jesus.
He can get it. But also
he can get it.
He is brilliant. In the new movie on Netflix called Really Love. It was a beautiful movie. The score was phenomenal. And he was just like, I would love to go on a date with him. And number 2 needs no introduction because it's Morris
Chesty.
Yes.
I met him, Monique. Sorry. When he came to Denver. Oh, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, though. He's a sweetheart. He is.
Ricky,
he's very.
Don't tell her that. Don't tell her that.
He's a gentleman.
He's a
found the
gentleman.
fountain of youth, y'all. He looks exactly the same.
He looks exactly the
Black
same.
don't crack.
It really doesn't. Next time any of y'all meet him, call me.
I think he smells good too.
DM you my number.
Does he smell
Let
good?
me say hello. I ain't gonna be extra crazy. I just want to say hello to you, sir.
Hello.
Okay, you've been in my dreams for 20 years. Okay, I'm done. Who you got, Raj?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say, I mean, y'all already know.
We don't.
Listen, and if my husband was no longer on this earth, I gotta say my little PSA, okay? Because I would prefer to be on a date with Ryan Landell. However, if not, it would be Mr. Idris Elba. We already know this.
Oh,
Yeah.
And my would be Jada Pinkett.
Ooh.
see?
Okay.
But is August coming or is Will coming?
Neither one of them, because we gonna be on the date. Thank you.
100%. I feel that shit. None of y'all is invited. Okay.
Because you never know. She bring a whole entourage with it.
Listen,
And I ain't mad at it.
They can stay in the core.
They show in the core.
You are so funny.
They can stay in the core.
In the parking lot.
I said it first, boo. You gotta run.
Stand in line, Sabrina. Stand in line, girl.
Right, she said, you can't have my man.
everybody claim the Idris. I see y'all.
Listen, y'all can have Idris.
We'll take him.
Thank you. We gladly. Right, we like, thank you.
I don't want him speaking in his American accent. I want him speaking in his pure British, Nigerian, black ass accent.
Although he could give me a little bit of that wire voice too. I can take it either way. Either way, I'm good.
That's what I need.
Shirt off. Y'all do what you want.
Shirt on. It's just like as long as your shirt.
Take your shirt off. Objectifying men and women on this. Look,
I believe so.
She said, "You know where we're going."
On tonight. Y'all already know Miss Issa Rae. I know she out here married in these streets now, but sis, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember that time that you responded to my poem. Don't forget. You know what I'm saying? Like, come holler at me. Let's sit down and have a conversation.
I want to touch her clavicle.
I just want, right? I want to touch her jawline. I want to touch her jawline. Let me stop you. No. And then also, Esperanza Spalding.
Yes, I love her.
Esperanza Spalding. I love.
And then her, Monique and Ron.
Yes.
No, nobody wants the other Monique.
Look, did you hear the first half?
I don't recall who you talking about.
Yeah,
who you talking about? Who that?
That's
a runner in the Olympics. I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry, I don't know this woman. I don't know. No, because if one of us put our bonnets on, then she gonna be saying something. So
some shit.
Gonna be
yeah.
Y'all don't get me started.
I know.
Bonnets are hairy legs, but let me stop.
I'm gonna go on mute. Bless y'all.
Girl, you got how your hair look nice, but your legs is we're trying to be cute for y'all today. See, y'all, we're trying to have food today. Don't get us started, Lisa. All right, let's go into this description about Sojourners, because I really want y'all to understand about this incredible project, and I do not want to miss the opportunity to highlight this. So I want to read the story of the Sojourners project and then ask you guys some questions about it. In 1968, Denver Public Schools passed a resolution mandating the integration of schools through desegregation busing. What followed was a 26-year effort to create equity by busing students, mostly Black and Brown, from low-income neighborhoods to higher-performing schools, often far across town. Sojourners Project Busing is an intergenerational tale of family, community, and the political, socioeconomic landscape changes that affect how they live, learn, and love. The Mason family represents the era of segregation, integration, and the new virtual hybrid systems of education. They are the caregivers and owners of Chombo Basi Mashua. It's a vessel, bus, boat in Swahili, a sentient bus who speaks with the memory, music, and emotion of the folks who once rode inside its walls and the soundscape of the city they traversed. The key to this story is their love and passing of family history, culture, and knowledge. This outdoor pop-up immersive event unpacks the history of desegregation busing in Denver public schools, From Miss Rachel B. Noel, the first Black woman elected to public office in Colorado, to the 1970 school bus depot bombing, through nearly 3 decades of movement of young Black and brown bodies across our city. Sojourners' rich, immersive experience combines artistry and education with a focus on personal experiences across 3 generations and in a story augmented by hyperlinked history, research, and interviews. I want to ask you all, first of all, am I to understand that this is opening night for you for the Sojourners Project? Is that correct? Okay, so it's opening tonight.
So we are previewing tonight and tomorrow night. Friday is our official opening night. This is our preview. We're asking folks to come because we are doing this in a whole new way for us theater people who are used to being like in a building with lights set, seats are there. We're building a universe and a theater in a parking lot. We're popping up in a parking lot. So we're doing 2 previews to get our actors like an audience that's in love with them, cheering them on tonight and tomorrow. And then Friday is like our actual opening night. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, I just appreciate. Oh, go ahead, Adrian. Sorry.
One thing I really want to point out is when you come, make sure you bring a chair. We want to make sure that everybody knows that it's BYOC. Bring your own chair. Right. And we will have some in the back for you, but not a whole lot. So just want to let people know that. Definitely stress that.
That is awesome. And thank you so much. And I wanted to ask you guys, so given that it's your opening week, thank you for making time with us on such an important day.
Oh, surely. Yeah.
And Lisa, or any of you, can you tell us about how the Sojourner Project came to be and what inspired you to do this work now?
Well, that would be me. So when I created ideas, and I know we're going to talk a little bit more about what ideas is, I was not there was a twinkling in the back of my head that to do theater correctly, I would have to do it in a theater setting, in a production setting. But I wasn't ready for that. I was unpacking and dismantling and tearing down some stuff first. Right. And so we had a community call in, and we just said, hey, we're building pillars. We want to show you all, how do you go about doing more than just, it's more than casting, right? If you cast a show and you bring a bunch of Black and brown and broken and disabled and everybody else into your organization, if you bring in a queer person, if you bring a queer person into a homophobic or a transphobic culture, what are you going to do? You're going to break the person, right? So I wanted to do producing that showed what the pillars look like. So Patrick Mueller of the Control Group contacted me about a program that they had, because one thing I had ideas. Did I have resources? No. And I think that's one of the biggest obstacles and stumbling blocks is that we don't have the resources. And we talked about, what his organization had and what I could bring in a creative light. And he made a list, and he was going, and we got lights and sound equipment and a bus. Yeah. You have a whole bus, a whole school bus? And I was like, boy, let me tell you about busing. Let me tell you about what I know as an educator. And, we started there. We started looking into the research that had already been done for another project that Adrienne and I had worked in with the Artibus or Theater Artibus, and it was Recipe. And they kind of do work the same way, where they go into the community and they surround all of their shows around food. Food is like the central, like how we commune around food. And I had always been interested in, the movement of Black and brown bodies around this world, with or without our consent, and then the agency to tell our own stories, right? So that became the forcing, not the forcing, but the mission that we ran after. And I was like, one thing I want to do is I want to make this a strong Black woman centered, focused story. So first thing I did is I got on the phone and I called up Adrian. I think Adrian and Norma, I don't know, you were neck and neck, because I was like, who are my 2 good storytellers that I know? And I called Adrian, I called Norma, and I'm gonna let them pick it up from there and just maybe talk about their experience and how we like devise this together in 30 days.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Lisa. I'll take it, and then I'll pass baton to Norma. But one of the things when Lisa called me, we had worked with another project that she had spearheaded last year, actually in the midst of the pandemic, and it was through the young voices of children, and that was the first experience that we had, and that was really a good experience, a really good time with the young kids, and just kind of coaching them into telling their stories of what they went through as far as during the pandemic. So when she called me on this project, I'm like, so what did you say you want to do? You have a bus? She's like, yeah. So I just could not imagine what she wanted. She says, I want this history of what we had to deal with during the busing, and let's just so many ideas. And we were just, when we all got together, it's just, talk about the weaving, and I'll let you all talk about that a little bit later, but just the three of us and coming up with ideas, it was like, well, what about this? And what about this? And we had to really pull in and say, okay, we have to really find maybe 3 points that we could talk about, because there's so many things that we could talk about and did talk about and discuss and wrote. And we just had to keep cutting it down regarding the busing, because there's so many stories that we had gotten, not only just my own experience of busing here in Colorado, or in Denver, I should say, but other people. Norma, I'll let you have it.
Yeah, thank you, Adrian. To piggyback on that, it was so exciting being in this mix of not only like developing the story in collaboration with these amazing women, but also like just all that we were learning. I mean, we were constantly in and out of all this research, interviewing people, and also bringing community in as people were being interviewed, people that maybe had not even shared their stories or really thought about them in depth before. We're talking about their experiences, because, this play is told through a family of 3 generations, and each one bringing in their generational component of the story of moving our Black and brown bodies. And so it just kept magnifying. It's kind of like blooming, a flower blooming, starting with a seed, and then just that's it, like a sunflower. Yes. And it's still like that. It's still like that every day, every week. There's more components that just still come into the fold, especially in terms of like the community, which this story is about. It's about the community. It's about family. It's about real people, because too often, our history is put in event form. On this date, this situation happened. Boom. And it's not, and I think that's why people don't always understand why Black Lives Matter, because they don't necessarily relate it to people and their real experiences. So that's been a real part of my joy in collaborating, is that we're bringing forward that people's real experiences from a fictional story all the way through all the real stories of our community.
Can I ask you guys a little bit about that process? Because you talk about this story of this family and that it's fictional, but you guys did several interviews with people through the neighborhood. Adrian, you have your own experience of being bused. Like, what was the process of like developing the play itself, and the fact that you all wrote this play as well as produced it?
I'm on a live stream right this second.
Oh, we lost it. But Adrian, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I do. One of the things that I was telling the ladies, that even though I have experienced busing here in Denver, the thing is so much history that I have forgotten. And, you just chug along with life and continue to do things. You forget a lot about the history. So what I loved, what was rewarding for me, was to go back and reread what had happened and read some of the experiences that other people had gone through. And it was a wealth of information. I mean, as a matter of fact, Norma, she's so good about it. She's so diligent. She still sends us links. Hey, I just discovered so and so and so. And it's almost like, did you know? There's a little kick to that. But, there's so many things that happen that she keeps sending us, information on a particular person that dealt with racism during the time that they were going through busing, and each individual story, and this story after story after story. So we've built on it, and we could actually write a 2-hour script on it with all the information that just keeps coming.
And I just want to say that this is fiction based on nonfiction. Right. That's exactly what we're doing. And I want to just mention some of the folks that we got to speak to. We got to speak to Hispanic kids and Latino and Latinx kids who, sometimes when we think about busing and we think about, Rosa Parks, we don't think about their experience. We don't think about the fact that in this country, we think of black and white, right? We don't think about our indigenous folks. We don't think about our brothers and sisters who are Asian. We don't think about our brothers and sisters and our folks who are, from the Caribbean, from all these other places in the world. And they've got an extra layer sometimes of discrimination put upon them because, you may not speak the same language or you have an accent or something like that. Right. And then just yesterday, thanks to Norma, I got to speak to a generation, and I'm the crier, y'all. So if I burst out in tears, it's That's natural. I got the concussion, but I naturally cry. They know this. They're like, oh, Lisa crying again. But I got to speak to 2 white women and a black woman who can remember their first day at school, meeting each other and becoming instant friends, spending the night at each other's houses in the late 60s and 70s and falling in love. And this show and Norma, oh my gosh, here we go, brought them back together. Wow. And there's some of them have not talked to each other in years, and they were brought back together through Norma asking a question to one person and that one person saying, I need to get in touch with my friends and see where they are. I think I have a connect with them on Facebook. I got to talk to them. And then also I got to talk to the lawyer. It was a Jewish man. I want to say his name was Ed Kahn. And his wife, Cindy, yesterday. When I tell you these is white folks who were like, yeah, we moved into the neighborhood to help build the neighborhood and make sure that our white kids were standing alongside them. And so in Denver, this is kind of a little bit different and mind-blowing is that it wasn't just the Black community. When we talk about the Keys case, you have multiracial families fighting for what's right. And I think that's how we win, y'all. That's how we win. We stand up for each other. So, I mean, Adrienne and Norma just told you, I'm still learning every day. The play is written, we ready to put it on, and boom, I'll find something new. And it's I didn't even know that. That could have been a part of it. And I just want to say this real quick, is you're talking about injustices where a kid in elementary school is an A and B student, but then they're moved into a white school and suddenly they're a D, C, F student. Okay. And then there's a white man at a university who comes back and says, the water doesn't hold. Here's the evidence. These are things that we found out. It's just mind blowing. And then what's really mind blowing is Denver is the only northern state that busing had to be mandated in. Wow, I believe it. And so when you think about Topeka, Kansas, and you know about what happened in Montgomery and all these other places with integration of schools, Denver, Colorado in '64, and it took one Black woman with the support of some folks, because she was the only Black woman on the school board, Mrs. Rachel Bassett Noel. So just the steps, the strides that our foreparents set up, is dealing with what we're going through now, where we have kids who they threw a computer at during COVID and said, go home and get online, and they don't have internet access. That's, how do I have access to my education when you haven't given me everything I need?
Right.
And I'm gonna stop preaching for a second.
No, listen, this is
take your show on. So
you really have kind of covered so many things that I wanted to ask you about, because it's, you know, it's Denver's history, it's our history, it's our collective brown and Black people's history. I've been listening to this podcast called This Land, and it's about Native American tribes whose children have been taken from them through the foster system and all that. And I know for a fact about Black people and about Black children that have been taken, but to look at it from that perspective, it really made me think about how I need to always be inclusive in my thinking of our collective struggle and our collective trauma. I have two strains of thought right now, because on one hand, for you as an educator, how powerful is it to be telling this story in this time of COVID, where there's still some of those same disparities? While you might not be dealing with busing, but you're definitely dealing with a lot of diversity, a lot of issues that you're having in our current education system versus back then. Have you had any of your students come and see this yet? Have they been able to experience this?
Let me tell you how we do this. Not only do we have some of our students coming to see it, we actually have students being puppets. I am believing that it got to start when we're little. That love of sharing our art, whatever way it is expressed, needs to start when you're little, and you need to have that bolstered and supported. So Amira, who's on our trailer, her voice is one of the puppets. We recorded the voiceovers. We have five students. So Nyla Langford plays the lead, and she plays Amari. We got so many A names in this.
Wow, yes.
Amari. She plays the granddaughter Amari. She is a 16-year-old DSA student, and when I tell you, y'all got to come see that baby act. She pulls on my heartstrings every time I see her. She read to me on a screen, and I was like, I'm not crying. No, leave me alone. And then my godsons, Darius and Duran, they are 12 years old, and I've known them since they were in the womb. And they are big enough now where I carried the both of them here. They pick me up and carry me around. They are learning like how to do tech. They're learning how to be puppets. They're learning what you're supposed to do. They even, like, which I didn't agree with all of this, they learned how to run the bus, not drive it, but turn the bus on. And they're like, Nan, let me show you how to work the ADA lift. And I'm like, don't get away from that. Right. And they're like, no, it's really easy. I know the safety protocols here.
Our children are more brilliant than we even give them credit. I love that.
And they are 12 years old. They look like they're 18, but they're 12. And then their sister Tiana and then Amira, they were our little voiceovers, and to see them learning about who Ruby Bridges was during this project and not necessarily in school is where I see how we empower these babies to go back to school and advocate for themselves and say, so why have I never learned about Ruby Bridges? Why do I know what the Dred Scott rule is? Or Plessy versus Ferguson? I learned that in this show I was doing. So we can educate them in the process and in the audience seats. That's what I'm thinking, you know.
Yeah.
Adrian, I'm gonna go ahead, Norma. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, in fact, we've got a little ditty that the puppets are engaged with through the show called Did You Know?
Would you like me to sing it?
Yes, please.
There are things that you do not know because you didn't learn them in school. We don't think they're cool. Did you know?
Yeah. I love it.
And that's how we deliver a lot of the facts. That's how we deliver a lot of those facts. You know, that tie in all the stories in the play.
I'm going to take a little bit of a left turn and ask you ladies this, especially because of us as the SIP, we have to do this on a regular basis. But given the three of you all work so closely together, how do you hold each other up while you're doing this important work, right? Because I know you might have times where it's good, and then you might have times where it's really heavy. How do you guys, what is your self-care for each other while you're spearheading this project?
That's a good question, Rajulari. Because we had there was a long span of when Alicia started her dream, and then all of a sudden it cut down to a month. So we knew we had to, almost like Lionel, we put our heads down and started working. There was no, well, I have this to do, I got that to do. Because, it's so easy to take life and your schedules and put them there and say, let me see, where can I fit this in? No, we were under a time crunch and we started. I mean, we just went dead on. If there's someone that has a voice, we listen. And it's almost like another group that I work with, a 5280, if two say, hey, let's think about this way, then the other one will go, okay. So that keeps it all in a good chemistry of, you just kind of overrule. It's not an overrule, but majority rules in a nice way, So, and then sometimes that one person can make a good point for the other two. And you go, well, you know what, now that you mention it, that does make sense.
Yeah. And that's, I'm going to be honest with you, how we held each other up is, first of all, we walked into this project as three powerful Black women who were given the agency to have a, even though this was my idea, I didn't come to this project saying, okay, so this is what y'all going to do. I came to the project as, I need your help to do this successfully. And I want to hear, let's all look at this together. And I already knew who I'm going to tell you right now, I believe in a God and a greater person out there who's bigger than all of us, right? And I keep telling them, I dreamt this long before this process. I knew in my mind, I had, like, we call it deja vu. There are times that we were together and I was like, I've seen this before. I knew this happened before. And and like Adrienne said, we would say, oh, but this word doesn't fit. He wouldn't say that like that, would he? And listen to each other and come to the table in agreement and not, I think in this society, we have been taught to listen, to react, and to argue, as opposed to shutting up, listening, and coming back and saying what you said was right. So I'm gonna let Norma talk a little bit.
I feel like, I feel like Norma, you might be the healer or the voice of reason of the group or something. You just have that energy to me. What do you have to say?
Well, a few things. Like, one of the things that impressed me so much, and why I knew I wanted to work with Lisa when she called me, because we hadn't worked together before, but we had been connecting, over things, places. We've been meeting places, we go to each other's performances, different things like that. And there was a lot of respect. And I think we underestimate how powerful that is. Right. To just respect, and that was the embodiment of the space that we entered into every time we met. And we did this whole show over Zoom.
Wow, y'all.
Yeah.
Right.
So and also, both Lisa and Adrian, like, their professionalism, is intact and up front. So that also helped us in our work, because we know what we need to do. And we know how we need to show up, and we know what we need to produce, so I think those were really important components, and something that just delighted me. But also, when you ask about the care, that was at the forefront. And Lisa stated that right at the beginning. She has a thing that when we come together, and this was with our whole team, first thing is, what access needs do you have?
I love that.
What do you need? What do we need to know about you today in this moment that we want to include in this space? Where you run ragged today? Do you have a headache? What's going on? Your kid's sick, whatever. It's like, again, it's about real people. Yeah. And I think that's what was our guiding light all the time, that helped us to create this.
I just thank y'all. First of all, Black women will save the world every time. Y'all just inspire me so doggone much. And I appreciate I appreciate hearing this. I appreciate seeing how you guys work. It affirms a lot of the things that we do here on the SIP together. And it also reminds me to appreciate my sisters, even though I do. But what you said about respect and about like 3 powerhouses coming together, but respecting each other's gifts, I think that's so beautiful and so powerful. But I don't want to end this interview without digging in a little bit to ideas with Lisa. So I just thank you guys. I want to make sure that we also, y'all in the comments, look at the links for Sojourner, buy your tickets for this weekend. We'll talk some more before we end about the dates for the show and when you guys can see it. But Lisa, I just want to talk about the Denver scene in general for a moment. I know that you, along with a group of others, have formed the IDEA Stages, which stands for Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Access on Stages organization. Can you talk a little bit about ideas and how ideas help to kind of form your work around Sojourner and all of that and where it came from? Because I remember being in the midst of COVID, seeing all of these protests go on about the state of the world, feeling like a lot as a Denver theater artist and actor, there wasn't any space. We weren't performing anywhere. There was no work, all of that. And a lot of us were feeling so many emotions. And then ideas came to be. And all of a sudden, people had a platform to speak about how they felt about being Black actors in Denver, how they felt about the challenges that are in the community, all of that. I feel like you guys met a need so powerfully at a time when we really needed it. So can you talk about this organization? And girl, let me know.
I'm a bring it to you real fast, quick, and in a hurry. Like I said before, I'm a dreamer. Yeah. I sit down and I let God, the universe, the pixies, the butterflies, the dust, the ancestors, I let them talk to me and I shut up and listen sometimes. I know that's hard to believe, but I do. And I have been on the Colorado Theater Guild board for almost a decade. Mm-hmm. And I have been bringing up, hey, we got to do something about diversity in this theater community. Right. We got to do something about equity. And that's what it all boils down to. All those things lay under the umbrella of equity. And if you don't know Dr. Juanita Mosby Tyler, it's time for you to go to the Equity Project LLC and look up her work. She's my mentor. I love her. And I was sitting right here on this patio behind my computer because I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't be a part of the protest. I have several disabilities, including I was 15 years old when I had my first stroke. I live with asthma. I live with cognitive difficulties. And so many times when I walk into a theater room, that's the first thing people see about me. They see Lisa takes longer to learn her lines. Yes, because my brain is injured. I'm not walking around with a cast and you can't see that, but you're not interested and you don't have that spirit of advocating for everyone in your space, right? And then it took a summer of reckoning. So we all know that Elijah McClain lost his life, but it wasn't recorded. Well, it was, but it wasn't where we saw it, right? We know that we can go all the way back to Emmett Till. We can go all the way back to the horrors of what happened in Africa and how our people even got here. All these things have been happening and occurring on bodies that look like ours, right? And when you think about what theater is, if you're not showing me as anything more than the fat, funny friend, the quirky gay friend, the prostitute, the mammy, these stereotypes and tropes that they put out there, how can you respect me as a human being? So that was like my baseline of we need to change that. But how do we change that? And I came up with ideas, and it was like, how do we talk about accountability? I will say that over the course of this year, I've had ups and downs with this where, you know, white fragility walked in and was like, you're attacking me. And it's like, I'm not attacking you, baby. I'm just telling you what's real. Drink your tears and let's do the work, right? Let's get back to work. There was a theater company who recently decided to do this story with an Indigenous presence in it. They came to me and I was like, you need to talk to Indigenous people about this show because it comes off and has come off for many decades as racist.
Right.
Oh, we're going to do it differently. I was like, have you talked to the indigenous people about how to do it differently? Oh, no, we're going to just do it differently. Okay, let it be. But then the folks who have been in the community, been a part of this conversation that we've had on ideas on our Facebook group, when I tell you they decided to show their, Lord forgive me, lily white, beautiful alabaster skin playing these roles. And then they tried to go in and defend, oh, well, we're going to bring in Afro-Cubano music. And we're going to do. But it's like, but wait, did you bring the Afro-Cubanos in to talk to? And it wasn't us. Let me take a step back. It wasn't us bringing it to them. It was people who looked like them.
Right. There
saying,
you go.
hey.
Right.
I done learned over here at Ideas, you can't do this no more. Why are you doing this? Overnight, the accountability factor stepped in and they changed the show. With 3 weeks to put this show up and make a decision. And I'm not going to go into what theater company it was, but that's how we have to hold people accountable to what you're doing. Those days are done.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, that whole thing about, hey, we want to change. And then now COVID opened back up. I don't dare you. I suggest you go to your favorite theater company and look at their lineup. Look at who's directing it. Look at their boards. Look at who's bringing the money in. Look at who their funders are. And as a community, we need to speak to this because we have power when we all come together.
And what have they learned?
Screaming
right?
in the wind. Yeah. And if they haven't learned anything, you can tell them, hey, you know about idea stages? They do workshops. You can bring them in, pay them, and they do workshops, and they can help you out with your ignorance that you got going on. So that's Ideas. It's so much more than that. We're doing productions now with Sojourners. We have an Ideas after school and camp situation that's coming here. Raj, I got to talk to you, Monique and Carrie Joy. I got something brewing with Hollywood.
Sis. Call us sister, honey. Call us sister.
And it's because I stayed on the path. Was it scary? Was it dark? Yes. But there are some things that are coming down the pike. We are doing our Outspoken series that Adrian talked about, where we let actors and people have a platform to say what's going on and what their experiences have been and what they think joyfully they're going to move on to. Okay.
Right.
So there's Ideas is all encompassing love. That's what it is. So thank you for giving me my 10 minutes of
No, I appreciate
preaching.
it. And I'm not going to hold y'all too much longer because we have some rapid fire for you guys. And I do want to share information about Sojourner. But if you could just give me like 2 words or whatever from each of you, if you could go back in time to talk to your younger creative self, what would you say to her? And I want to hear that because all of you do powerful work, but you're also really impacting the next generation. So what would you say to your younger self?
2 words or
yeah, I'm just saying if you can keep it short because I have some more for you, but whatever you'd like to say, whatever
keep the faith.
You. Yes.
Know who you are.
Yes.
You got this.
I love it. Thank y'all so much. Thank you. Let me do some rapid fire questions, and then I want to tell people where they can come and support you guys, both Idea Stages and the Sojourner Project. What is your favorite art theater space here in Denver and why? I know.
Well, I'm going to say my space. I'm going to say 5280 Artist Co-op. We've changed everything around. I love it. I love the new space but unfortunately we're out of a home for now, but that's a great space. It's a wonderful space. Intimate.
Theater,
Shout out to 5280.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, I want to add to that, Donnie Betts. It's like he doesn't have a space.
Yes.
But he is in the space in such a powerful way. And I love everything he does.
Yes. And I want to say shout out to 5280 because Ideas does great work, but you guys always hire incredible artists of color. You always put on great, interesting, thought-provoking productions. And at some point, we have to have people from the ladies of 5280 come on and speak to us as well.
That'd be great.
You're booking a flight anywhere in the world. Where are you going and who are you going with?
I'm booking a flight with my husband. I'm going to Africa. I want to go to Africa this time.
Awesome. Okay.
I'm going to take my brother and my sister-in-law, and we have Gullah ancestry,
Yes.
and so just like not somewhere, but to the Low Country and explore our heritage.
Yeah, have a seat.
Nice.
You ever see Daughters of the Dust, Norma?
Yeah,
I believe that should be a play. I believe we should put it on stage, y'all. Listen. Can Ideas produce that?
Call it Julie Dash tonight. Yes. Oh my gosh, don't play with my heart. Oh my gosh, that's my show. That's my. Woo, okay. I love their stuff. I'm going to grab my godchildren and my husband, and I'm going to probably go and grab some of my kids from Boston P through H. So I'm going to take a whole lot of children, and we're going to go. I'm with Adrian, but we're going to go to all over the continent of Africa, because it's time that we start learning it's not a country, it's a continent with several different racial and ethnic identities and languages, and we're going to go find ourselves. We're going home, y'all.
That's what I said, Africa, everywhere.
Favorite role that you ever played, each of you?
Who was singing for Lena?
Yes, that was your one woman play.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, I have to say,
go ahead, Norma.
I have to say myself, because that's why I do my poetry now. I don't have to be anybody else. I love it.
Yes,
nice.
Well, Adrienne and I played the same role. I thought she was going to take it, so I was hoping she didn't. And it's Esther in Intimate Apparel. That story of overcoming, written by a Black woman, was it was beautiful.
Awesome. Okay, last rapid fire question, and then we'll let you guys go and we'll talk about Sojourner. But this is for the win, y'all. This is for the win, and you gotta answer right, because the three of us always got different answers. So I'm gonna let y'all say it. Is it sweet grits or is it savory grits?
Oh my God.
Savory grits.
Savory?
Nah.
Go ahead, Norma.
Give it to Norma.
Sweet.
Norma.
Sweet. With butter.
With butter, yes, baby. Yes.
Grits is a staple cereal, just like rice. It can be used on the side of dishes several different ways. It may be savory in a lunch or a dinner portion. It may be sweet in a cereal portion in the morning with butter, sugar, and cinnamon. Grits is
and butter.
What's your answer?
Versatile. Yes, honey.
Let's have some good grits.
Look, I grew up on grits. I ate grits every way. I'm from Louisiana. Every way it was made, I had a grit in my mouth. So I'm not going to complain.
Okay.
If it's cooked well and delicious, I'm going to eat it.
There you go. Well, I thank you all so much for being on here. And I wanna let the ladies say some things to you too. But can you just tell everyone again where they can get tickets for the Sojourners project? It's an outdoor theater immersive experience, y'all. You want to be there. What are the dates of the project, and how can people get tickets to support y'all?
I guess I got it in my head better. So it is at the Rising Star Missionary Baptist Church, which is my home church. My father is the pastor there. We are in a parking lot. Make sure you bring your own chair. If not, you may sit on a VIP bus seat, but you have to pay the VIP prices. We have done insect mitigation, but please put on some off so them things out there don't eat your delicious eggs. Make sure you have sunscreen on. Bring a jacket. Bring a cuddly blanket. Also a mask. Yes. Bring a mask. We're having, of course, the smoke and everything. Keep yourself safe. The other thing I wanted to put into the space really quickly is on the weekends, we have gifted our concession stand to youth groups. So bring a little money so you can get some food from these children and put that back into the youth groups, all right? You may go to Sojourner Live, sojourner.live. If you can remember that, you can get your tickets. Tickets are reasonable. If you bring a group, they are $16. A group is 6 or more. If you are an adult, it's $28. Our VIP are $40. And bring the babies. We have artist pricing. We have senior pricing. This is family friendly. It is about family. It is about community. Come on out. We are running from tonight, the 8th, until September 26th. And we will have shows Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for your viewing pleasure. We love you. Come out and join us.
And I want to add one caveat to that. One caveat.
Uh-oh.
As Carrie Joy says, please have an open mind. Our people of color, this is not the traditional theater. Come with an open mind.
Yeah.
No negativity. Bring all the spirit and all the good love. And we'll give it back to you.
And the ancestors.
Amen.
Yes.
Oh,
Amen.
we're going to call them in, so they're going to be there. So.
That's right.
Yes. Nick and Carrie, did y'all want to say anything before I take us out with some music?
I'm just super inspired, and I just want to thank the three of you so much for coming on. Everything that you said, you've spoken so much to my heart, and thank you for paving the way for us, you know, for being such great examples for us as Black women who are just doing the damn thing. So thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. I want nothing but success for your show. It's incredible, all the work that you're doing. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I give you a quick next up for Idea Stages? We do coffee and cold reads. So we read plays in a book club setting. Our next one is on Monday, the 20th of this month. And we go around to small independent books and coffee shops and make an economic impact with them. So look that up, coffee and cold reads. We have a little sip of coffee. We read a play that you've never heard of. And we do plays from diverse folks. So we got a lot going on, y'all.
Love that.
I'm with that. I have nothing to add, y'all. I just want to echo everything that has already been said. Y'all kill it. It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait to see it. Make sure you get your tickets, fam. And that's all I have.
Thanks for having us, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you for holding it
This
down.
is beautiful. Thank
Sippers,
you.
we'll be sure to see y'all next time. Follow us on the Sip_podcast on Instagram. Become a patron on the patreon.com/the Sip podcast. Be sure to support this event, y'all. Come see this production. It's going to be beautiful. Until next time.
Thank y'all. Peace out. Save this, share this video, y'all. We appreciate you all, and much love to the ladies of the Sojourner Project. Thank you for inspiring us, y'all. We will see everybody very soon, likely next week if we can get it together on the dates. And we love y'all. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.